everyone, welcome back to another From Your Scrap Bin episode. This time I am using this super old paper from my mind's eye. What was it called? Little Robots or something like that. I've had this forever, done plenty of layouts with it, but you can see how cute it is. It's one that I have thought about purging a few times, but I always knew I'd be able to get at least one more layout out of. So I am perfect for this series because all I really had, that green one might be a full sheet, but that robot one was also a full sheet. So I am using these as, I'm going to make a couple of banners. I did take a little bit of inspiration from a sketch, but I did not follow that sketch really much at all. So I didn't even bother to show the sketch. Basically, I just wanted to use that big robot-y background paper as like a big background, and then I definitely wanted that stripe. I knew I wanted it to be like a striped strip. And then I just have this single photo, and this photo has also been in the bag. So some of the like videos or stuff that I will use for this From Your Scrap Bin series will be, I have photos with some, and I like half have photos and the other half don't have photos. So I've been pulling the ones with photos first just because it's easier. I don't have to think about it, and usually it's last minute I'm doing this. So that is that. Actually, maybe I should pull for next month's now before I start on anything. I just finished this layout a few minutes ago and I need to get it up. But these are all scraps as far as I know from that collection, and it's probably not available anymore. If I can find it somewhere, I can link it, but I'm sorry that I'm using older stuff. But that is the whole purpose to this series, is to get that older stuff used up. So, I mean, anything would go. Just pull some oranges and blues out with it, and that'll work. And this is also a kit that a long time ago I made some kind of mini kits out of these like scraps bags. I would just have, it was mostly things like this that didn't have any stickers, or maybe just one or two pieces of ephemera, and I put in some other stuff, and I never really used those, and I never really went to them, and I don't really know why, but that's another reason I'm liking this series, is I'm getting these used up and not just sitting there on my shelf, and I need some more room in my shelf. So yeah, it's just a good series. I'm really glad that I joined this series this year. And I hope you guys are enjoying it too. And I hope that, you guys are pulling out some scraps. I know the other ladies, I think, are actually pulling from just their scrap bins. And so I'm a little bit cheating, but I don't really have scrap bins. A lot of you probably know I keep everything by collection until I'm basically done with that collection. And then if there's one piece or paper or something that I like, then I might put it aside. But anyways. Which also brings me, a lot of times I forget to mention the fact that there are other videos you can go check out. So please check the links below. There will be a list to all the other ladies who are joining us this month for this series, and you can check out their videos. It's fun to see what everybody puts together with their scraps. Now, with a few of these extra scraps, I also wasn't really sure, but I knew I really wanted to use. I really like this polka dot one, and I only had these little pieces, so I couldn't really put it anywhere. I could have probably tucked it behind that larger one and cut it down so it looked like it was coming out the top and bottom, now that I think about it, but I decided to play around with circles. Why not? So I just got out my circle cutters. I'm not measuring. I didn't, use the guides to see how big. I just am playing with different size circles, and I'm going to place them around the layout. And I am inking all my edges. I did use my gray Close to My Heart ink there. You can see it's pewter. So that's the ink that I'm using for this. I'm actually really enjoying this gray. It was a nice replacement for my other gray from Close to My Heart. In fact, that reminds me, I probably should order the refill before they change their colors. Now, that big roll of foam adhesive, if you're interested in that, let me know. It's scrapbook.com's adhesive. I like it. Their adhesive is just a little bit thicker than, it's not bad. It's my second go-to. I choose my Close to My Heart first, and then I like the scrapbook.com, that's the order of the foam adhesive that I would go in. And honestly, I've had this roll for probably about a year now, and I just keep forgetting to pull it out. So I'm going to go for it and hopefully remember to use it up. So one of the things I had, I don't think this was part of the Little Monster collection. It could, very well could be. No, it's because it's Little Robots. So that, yeah, okay. So this was separate. And again, when I mentioned that I made the little mini kits from these collections, that's what I did, was I put some stuff in. And I want to say this is maybe a My Mind's Eye product too, but I do not remember. It does have dimensional adhesive. You can see, I'm going to actually go off screen here in a minute. And I really wanted to use that title. Not only do the colors just match perfectly, but there's the story. My youngest one, when he was a baby, I mean, even before he was born, he was a brat. And I tell him all the time, oh my gosh, I mean, he's such a good kid now. And when he turned about 2, he just started becoming this really well-behaved kid. And so I joke with him. We like to tell him and show him all these pictures. In this picture, you probably can't see, but I know I have scrapbooked this story about this before, but not just this single photo, or maybe it was on the other page. I don't care, but because I really like this photo. But he's got a crayon in his hand, and he had drawn all over the wall. And when I went over there to see what he was up to, it was when they do their little gibberish before they learn how to talk. And he was pointing to the wall and telling me all about it. And he was so proud of himself. It was sweet and a great memory. And anyway, so mommy shouldn't leave you alone, I guess, with crayons. But anyways, so he was just the craziest little bratty kid, but now, like I said, he just turned out to be a really, really good kid. So we definitely like to joke with him about that. It makes us all laugh, and he's okay with us joking about it, by the way. So if he was still a bratty kid, I probably wouldn't joke about it. Anyways, that little monster, though, that I was talking about, I went and I did remove the foam adhesive. It's kind of like a doodle pop as far as the foam adhesive goes. It had foam adhesive underneath the blue, and it had foam adhesive under the little monster, and it's got foam adhesive under the monster. And so but actually what it didn't have was foam adhesive under the white little monster part, underneath the monster itself. It was like they tried to make it dimensional, but it was kind of crooked and stuff. So I took it and I removed the foam adhesive behind everything but the monster itself. And then now the monster pokes up, but the rest of the title does not. So it looks really funny. I don't know. It definitely needed it. And I did have to scrape some of the foam adhesive off. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm just playing around a little bit, since I don't have a whole lot of embellishments. And sometimes with my single page layouts, I like to add a little bit more of this type of thing. I'm going to take this stencil. It's by Tim Holtz. I first used my gray wool ink. You might have seen me there use my ink just to put some of these dots around. And now I'm going to use the exact same stencil. And I actually had my older son choose, not the one that's in the photo, but I had some paste. I bought this paste in the past, and it really needs to be used up. So this paste, I'm going to tell you, it's old, and that's probably why it's not so great anymore, but it's very thick. I don't know. You can tell it's old. And this is the first time I've ever used it. It's never even been opened. So that's another reason I want to use my paste set, because I spent money. But I got these a couple years ago when these things first came out. And so I got it from Shimmers. But there's a lot more. I would suggest other pastes at this point. It didn't work really well with this new spatula I got. That's kind of more rubbery, because it's so... I could use that to push it down into the page, but I couldn't. I don't know. It was just, I didn't like it. I don't know. I will try to use it up still, because I have it and it worked, but it takes a little bit of finagling to get it to work right. Anyways, so that dried, and it did dry for like 3 or 4 days, because I put this aside to work on something else that I'm working on for my little scrapbook stores crop at the end of April for their National Scrapbook Day crop. I hope you guys will join us. It's free to join. It's online. It's Facebook page. There's challenges, and you can be entered to win challenges, and there's some fun things that we're doing this time around that we don't usually do because it is International Scrapbook Day. So there's not a lot left for me to do on this layout. This is all the stuff that I added in when I made the little kit, and you can see that little robot piece and some of these little cog pieces or wheel pieces, whatever you call them, were part of the kit as before, so they were already in there. But I'm just going to place them around, and I'm going to place them all down, and then I'm going to turn off the camera and glue them down. I didn't figure you guys needed to sit there and watch me glue them all down because I glue them right wherever they are sitting at the moment. And you can see the pile's really small. I do add a couple of the kind of enamel shapes from the brads that are there, and then a few of the stars and you can see how messy that paste got, but since this is just a fun, playful page, I didn't really mind. So don't forget to check out the links below. I hope you like this process video, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a great day. All right, bye.